6 Steps to a Better Business, otherwise known as, anyone read the book Good to Great? Who's read that book? No? Jim Collins wrote a book called Good to Great. I wanted to steal his thunder on the title, but that's what I would call it, is how do I take my business from good to great? So we wrote a paper about this many years ago. It looked at the health of business in Australia. We hired ourselves a PhD researcher, and we wanted to figure out how successful the small business marketplace was in Australia. There's 2.1 million, and SMB is small to medium businesses, someone that employs less than 200 employees. Okay, and there's 0 to 4, so self-employed to 3 staff plus you. There's 5 to 19, 19 to 100, and 100 plus to 200, I think it is. The current rate of failure, and I don't want to be doom and gloom, but just to give you a heads up, about 22 businesses per hour in Australia fall over. Now, that's a combination of bankruptcy, businesses being sold, shut down, transferred ownership. The businesses that are 5 BASs delinquent are considered no longer trading. So we figured out after all our research that 71% of them never make their 10th anniversary. So those of you that have gone past 10, congratulations. 90% of business owners, except those who needed a qualification to do what they do, have no formal training. 58% of them earn less than $1,000 a week. And a fair chunk, over 50% of them, never take more than 2 weeks holiday, and then most of those are forced upon them with Easters and long weekends and whatever else. I think that there are 9 reasons. I'm going to show those in just a minute, but one of the biggest ones, which never showed up in any of our research, was that the barrier to entry is almost non-existent. So you think about it, what are the things you have to do to register a business in Australia? So you don't have to lodge a business plan anywhere. You don't have a minimum capital in the bank set up anywhere. I don't want to sort of go back in time too far, but I just need to let you know why the sector is so vital. It produces $1 gazillion every year. It employs a gazillion people. And I've always said that the small business sector in Australia is kind of like the lungs of the economy. And without it, we're screwed. But here are the reasons, I don't know if there's 9 or not, why failure happened. These kind of 2, little to no training and inexperienced management. Business model was fundamentally flawed. I had a lady come to me last week, God bless her, before she registered ABN and put a business model in front of me, and I had to shoot her down in flames and say, I'm sorry, love, the business model's just not going to work. So if everyone did that first, it'd be a good thing. Cost blowout, no business plan, ran out of capital. This is the big one, especially amongst the male entrepreneurs. They were unwilling to ask for advice. It was seen as a weakness to ask for advice. Too proud, she'll be right. Grew too quick, too soon, low financial literacy, and little or no training. And we took our findings to the federal minister. We had a meeting with him in Canberra to show him this white paper and ask for some support. He said, we're okay with failure. We do enough. There's no more support coming. We do enough already. But to me, we should be minimizing the failure it starts with. Yep. So today's all about, I guess, I put this 6 steps process together. It's part of Marshall Thurber's plan, if you know Marshall well. All I'm doing is I'm not plagiarizing. I'm borrowing his work and building on it. And we've called it 6 Steps to a Better Business. And it is a relatively straightforward step-by-step process that I'm going to give you today. I'm going to be showing you a bunch of strategies that you may or may not have seen before. I'm going to unpack some financials that actually, when we walk out of here, I'm going to show you categorically how to increase your net profitability by 61% and actually believe that it's possible. I also want to talk a little bit about people and my beliefs and structures around how to build businesses with great people. We'll look briefly at some numbers. Most of you are well on this path, so I'm going to skip over the stuff that you already know. And I want to teach you everything I know about financials inside 3 minutes. I know a lot more, but the absolute basics. These are the 6 steps: mastery, niche, leverage, team, synergy, results. So we spend most of our time in the first 2, and the others we move on relatively quickly. This is what I call the foundational work. All right. For me, who remembers this bloke here?
Yeah.
Maxwell Smart. There were 2 sides in this TV show. Who were the 2 sides? Who did Maxwell Smart work for?
Control, is that right?
Yep, Control. What was the other side?
Bloody, what are they? Chaos.
Chaos, spelt with the K. Yes.
So this is correct. So chaos and control. Max was a control agent. Daniel, Sam, Dan Watts, have you seen this show ever before? Does it make sense?
There's a lot of irony in that as well, that Max worked for Control rather than Chaos.
No, I think he was a secret chaos agent, because he was he's like Mr. Bean. A little bit like Mr. Bean, right? So chaos is about mastery is about moving from chaos to control. We've talked about what I consider chaos. Here are some other numbers we found. The average age of a business owner in Australia. Anyone like to have a guess?
47.
53.
35. 55.
Keep going.
65.
57.
57.
Have a guess how much the average business owner pays themselves on the books.
Well, you added a or something?
50 grand, isn't it?
Yeah, 57. Have a guess how many the average hours the business owner works.
70
hours.
There's
80.
a common theme here. It's about 60.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I don't know many people that would be prepared to work 60 hours a week for 60 grand a year. This is what I would consider chaos. I've done 100-hour weeks when I first started off in my business. I was doing 100 hours just to try and get the thing going. So I know what it's like, and that is absolute chaos. So if you're anywhere in those areas, then this is how we get there.